it because it sucked. Like the story sucked. So I just didn't want to cut
I
it
know
off.
it's wrong. It was garbage.
Hey guys, welcome to the show. We're happy to have with us Jables, aka JK47. She's a budding writer, and she suggested this comic, and also agreed to come on and review it with us. So everybody, welcome Justine. I mean Jables.
Hey, Justine.
Hi, thanks for having me.
We got an interesting one today. Today's comic is called Rangers of the Divide. It was created by Megan Huang. And by created, I'm guessing she both wrote it and did the art. But basically, the comic book follows the story of two nations called Vale and Rillion. They are basically ever-warring nations, always in constant conflict with one another. But there is one factor that unites them, and that is the ancient military order known as the Rangers of the Divide. These are members that are inducted as children and trained their whole lives to become fearsome warriors. And they all remain neutral. They're not on this side, they're not on the other. And basically they act as peacekeepers and protectors of the wild borders of these nations. So now that we know what the comic is about, what'd you think of the story, Justine?
I liked it a lot. It was captivating. I wouldn't say it was extremely captivating, but I was able to finish it. It was good. It held my attention. The characters were kind of funny. It was cute, I think.
That's a good way to
I'll
put
agree. I'll agree. It was cute.
it. Actually thought the story was good in the sense of this would be good for Bob to rewrite and, and actually take the story somewhere. It was an
Thank you
instant.
for your confidence in me, man.
Yeah. And at the beginning, they said that the children were inducted, and then the narration continues, and then they say, "But that's the life we chose." No, it's not.
Right.
No, it's not. You didn't choose that. You fucking forced it.
You're scripted, yeah.
Very
So
inconsistent.
Yeah.
I like the concept. I thought it was a cool concept. It seemed to me this was more for manga readers. Like it reminded me why I don't like manga. Sorry guys, I'm not.
I was just thinking that artwork actually reminded me of Pokemon. So yeah, you're not wrong.
Yeah.
I agree.
It reminded like I was sitting there watching. I remember watching Hero Academy. What is that called?
Okay.
Is that what it's called? The Hero
My Hero
Academy?
Academia.
My Hero Academia. God, our fans are gonna hate me. But I did used to watch it with the kids, you know, and my favorite character was All Might. That's the coolest name too. I don't know. I really like that.
So that would be your character.
Yeah, right. But
Makes sense.
yeah, the dialogue reminded me of the same in that movie. It just like every time I've tried to watch a manga or an anime movie or read manga, it all strikes me the same way. It reads the same way. It's just awkward for me. I just don't care for it.
I was really hoping that this wasn't like, a comic book that Justine just really loved, because I fucking hated it.
Yeah.
I fucking hated it. Oh my god, it was so boring.
Yeah.
It was so boring. The thing is, like for me, I think this was a really cool concept. So they got that side of the coin down. The concept was actually very, very cool, but the execution was just not it for me. Like it was too slow paced. I hated this Mr. Miyagi thing that they did with this main character. I hated it, and like you said, yeah, like those inconsistencies, like, oh, this is what we signed up for. It's like, no, you just said a minute ago that like you're raised from birth to do this one thing. And then the one that pissed me off the most was when they were like, oh, don't worry, if everything goes wrong, these dragons will protect us. I'm like, oh, you mean these cute cuddly teddy bears that you got with you? I'm sorry, they do not look menacing at all.
No, they don't. They look like a space moose or some shit. Or is that it? That is a space moose. No, I'm looking at something else. I was like their tails. Like I wanted to know more about what these tails were. The nations. Like we didn't get introduced to either one of these nations. It just I mean they should have just started there instead of some empty outpost with a bunch of kids. Like I said, it had potential for it to be a good story, and maybe once it gets to the actual story, it may be a fun read. But they, in my opinion, they wasted 25 pages. They should have started the story where the story starts. It's a lot of S's with some cotton mouth.
I was telling my wife the same thing. I was like, I wish that what they would have done is just him encounter these kids and be like, all right, you guys don't know what you're doing, but this is an emergency. We gotta go. If they would have just done that, I would have been like, all right, fine. And then we would have gotten into the story. Like Bob said, at least introduce us to these nations that are constantly warring. It's the whole reason this guy's here. So yeah,
and the place looks great.
Consistency too was with that guy at the end was like, it's really unfair of me to ask these kids to do this, but at any cost, no matter how many lives. Like, he's like, I really care about them, Mr.
He's like a Lord Farquaad from Shrek. He's like, some of you may die, but it's a sacrifice I am willing to make.
Yeah. That's hilarious.
Oh my god. Now that you guys are making some very good points that I didn't really think about, I think right now I'm just liking the art.
I thought the art fit the story.
Yeah, the art style definitely goes with the story. I think if there was any other art style, it would be weird if it was different art style, I feel like, though.
Yeah, I don't think it would have.
Just the way
I have
story's told.
Mixed feelings about that because the art was fitting. The art was fitting to a degree. The colors they used were fantastic. I love the colors.
Yeah.
But the art style did not fit the story. Again, if you're going to make a comment like, oh, these dragons will protect us, I need to be afraid of those things. I don't want to see cute, cuddly Pokemon. I want to see what I saw on Avatar. You know what I mean? Like, if they look more like those things that they fly around, what, the Banshees? Is that what they're called?
Yeah, Banshee, yeah.
Yeah, like, if they would have looked more like that, then I would have been like, oh, hell yeah, badass. But that style is cute.
They would have worked with that art style, too. It would have worked.
It would have worked with that art. Yeah, with those colors, yeah, it would have looked fantastic.
Yeah, I was thinking that because it sucked, like the story sucked. So I just went cut off.
It was garbage.
Yeah.
Like one thing I will say about it, like as far as what we do like, I did like the way they started the story. The intro to the story, because it was old-fashioned, but it worked for the type of story that this was telling. I was like started saying, like basically describing the land, because I thought that was actually very good world building. The way they just introduced and said, in the wilds between nations, for as far as the eye can see, there are vast mountains, and from mountains they go to forests, from forests they go to rivers, and then they basically bring you into this setting, which I thought they did.
The animals
really well.
as well. All the animals were unique, and they did a good job showing those. Like even these, I don't know, there's something here flying, like a sprite or something flying over here in the corner. Like there's a whole bunch of stuff in this establishing shot in the beginning.
But that's just the dragons that more frustrating. They clearly can draw cool looking shit.
Yeah, they didn't take the time to do it.
Like the most pivotal characters in the fucking thing. You got these
and the Wendigos
beings flowing through the fucking river with full detail, cool, unique design, like, and then
each one of them is unique. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And one thing I will say that as far as the art not fitting is that it was too smooth of an art style. Like literally smooth. Everything just looks so polished and stuff like that.
Anime? I mean, that's just kind of how anime does it, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's like they didn't go anime enough. because
It
it's
like they
depends.
were-
There's certain
like they
styles
were-
of anime that look grungier and rougher.
But that's the thing, is that like it wasn't fitting for the story. For the kind of
Right.
setting that they're in, and the kind of circumstances that they're in, where there's nations constantly at war. These guys are seeing combat, you know, to be this experienced legendary warrior. That means he has been through some shit. But he's got this like perfectly polished face, no
Oh, yeah,
scars.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the whole art style is too polished.
This time I'm gonna be focused. I won't. Everybody's not gonna.
Oh yeah. yeah.
This time,
This
he's
fucking-
gonna be focused.
I wasn't paying attention last time. Sorry, guys. Trying to get these kids. That's how to work. 3-day training montage. Fucking ready.
Right.
The art fucking, like you said, it was good, but it was like not right. But then it also didn't really help the fucking storytelling, because like Bob was asking about the tails. They do illustrate that they are swords and that they
They
fucking
used them to kill. Yeah, they used them to kill that Wendigo.
arms off and stabbed in the head. But I had to go back and look at that several times to understand that they did that, not the fucking Mr. Miyagi. Like it wasn't clear. You know, it wasn't really clear with the storytelling. You know, whether it be the dialogue or the fucking visual storytelling.
Oh yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
However, that 1-2 page shot that they did of the ground monster that they were fighting, that was
Yeah.
that was a really good
Wendigo.
spread. Winnebago. Winnebago. Read that without seeing Winnebago. I couldn't do it.
Oh yeah, it definitely shows it's full size. Yeah.
Yeah.
And again, you can fucking draw cool fucking animals. What are you doing with these squishy toys?
Yeah, the dragons. My favorite sequence as far as the visual storytelling went was from the point where they hear those noises on the ceiling, the creak. From there up until she goes up and she faces this thing by herself. Those 4 pages were really cool. I love the way the visual storytelling went on those. But that was it.
I was gonna say,
Really kind of went downhill.
That was it. Like everywhere else, I was just kind of like it just wasn't like it was easy to follow, so it flowed that way, but it wasn't flowing in an interesting way. Like it was just very lackadaisical. Oh, and that one shot where the second Wendigo is coming, the one that he summoned. There's like a long panel that's showing this thing like just like charging at them. That panel was really cool too. And I love the onomatopoeias, how they did that katon, because it just you can hear the weight of this animal like hitting the ground, and they did that through the onomatopoeia.
They had a few good ones in there. The sound effects was on point for sure.
Yeah, it had a lot of potential, man. It had a lot of potential.
It did.
It did.
Yo, man, you won't believe what my wife said though.
What'd she say?
Oh,
Because she read it with me, and it bored the hell out of her. But her remark was, "Yeah, you could tell this is written by a woman."
Oh, you
Oh.
sexist.
A woman
A
said it.
sexist
A
would
woman
say.
said it.
And everything was cute. Everything was, oh my god. Oh, and this one character really annoyed her, the redhead. How she kept on like, but commander, no.
Yeah.
Like she was just this like
She's like-
damsel in distress. She had like no inkling of being a badass.
He started out like going like, well, aren't you this and that? And he's like, yeah, I think I will. No! Like, it seemed like she was cheering him on, like, yeah, you're the hero, you know, you're gonna go do this. Yeah, don't leave us.
Yeah, it was inconsistent there too.
All right, babe. Do you have the second issue, Justine?
I do not know.
I also
No,
like.
this is the other one I have.
Is that the back cover? No, the back inside cover.
That's the back cover.
What's the inside? It's like when they're walking into that dark forest.
Oh, this one?
Yeah. That looks like the next one.
But that cover looks really
Yeah.
badass though, I'm not gonna
I
lie.
was gonna say, this cover looks really cool.
Yeah, I did like that one.
I'm almost intrigued enough to just give the second issue a peek. that maybe.
I wouldn't say that. The only thing I like about it is the colors.
I'll look into
No,
it.
I'm just glad that we have an R&D team named Bob.
Look into it. Yeah, research
Yeah,
it
you
up,
going to do that, bud. I'll take your word for it.
I like looking into things that I just don't understand.
Well, no, sometimes it's just bad though. Like we don't have to have an excuse for it.
Yeah.
I'll be fair to the comic. I don't like fantasy. I don't.
Right.
It's just not my cup of tea, so it's really hard for me to get into this kind of story.
Well, I'm not that judgmental. So. I'll give it a chance. You know, these guys. I'm not a fantasy guy either. Daniel's not either.
I'm not, but I went into it open. I gave it a shot. You know,
That's the thing,
I went
like,
into
if
it
you
more
can
open
hook
than
me,
I
you
did.
can hook me. Yeah.
Right. I went into it more open than I did with Girl Squad. You know.
I'll say that too. Yeah, I also went into it a lot more open than Girl Squad.
Justine would have probably liked Girl Squad too. Yeah, I was like that with when I was read novels and shit. I didn't go towards fantasy. I like some sci-fi. I usually did suspense and thriller and stuff like that. But every now and again I read a sci-fi. But I shied away from fantasy because I wasn't a fantasy fan. And then I took the kids to go see that World of Warcraft movie. I had a good time. I thought it was a good movie, and Daniel enjoyed it as well.
Warcraft.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, like if I was arranging my bookshelf and I had Ash, I had Empty Man, all the other ones that we've reviewed, I would put it really close. I'd set it right next to Ash.
This one right here.
Yeah, this one right here. I would just set it right next to Ash. I know I never want to read this again.
Yeah.
Well, that was Rangers of the Divide, guys. Thank you, Justine, for coming on and bringing the comic with you. Show and Tell Incarnate. Thank you very much.
Thanks for having me.
You guys, you can come back anytime you want. Really, we'd love to have you on anytime. That would be awesome.
Sounds good.
Sorry, we trashed your comic.
Okay,
Don't let
I
that
learned my
discourage
lesson.
Like I said, I'm so glad she didn't come out here going, I thought it was really good. Like, oh, I loved it. I'm so like, oh, Justine, I'm sorry.
I hope it doesn't discourage you from coming back on.
No, not at all.
Yeah, I hope you had a good time. That was Rangers of the Divide. It was alright, I guess. But yeah, I don't know what we're doing next week, as usual. So we'll see you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.